Hi, I'm Frances Proctor, otherwise known as Angel Eyes Online. Welcome to today's video tutorial, Photo Filters Beneath the Surface Part 2. For those joining in from YouTube, Part 1 of this series is a written tutorial on XaraMarketplace.com. The link is in the video description. In this video, I will show you how to adjust photo filters using the transparency tool, and I will take you through the steps to create a basic filter from scratch. Are you ready? Let's get started. Okay, so I'm using the most recent version of Designer Pro for this, and we're going to jump right into creating a photo preset from scratch, and then I'm going to show you a quick trick to use the transparency tool to edit a preset once it's been applied to a photo. All right, so to get started, to create a photo preset, we need a photo to work with. And I've got a cute one here of this darling little kitten. Isn't she just so sweet? All right, now I like to create my presets as a square. I usually follow what they've done in the Xara programming. All their presets are all an 800 pixel by 800 pixel square, and that's what we're going to do here today. So I'm going to deselect the photo for a minute. I'm going to grab the rectangle tool, and I'm going to hold down the control key and just simply click and create a nice big rectangle. All right, I'm just going to move this over here a bit. You can see I've just quickly done this. It's way too big, so I'm going to go up here and I'm going to adjust the width to 800 pixels, and we'll do the same for the height. And then I'm just going to hit enter to set that change, and now we've got a nice 800 pixel square. All right, so now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this square around a bit. And I'm going to send the square to the back now just by going Control B. Hold down the Shift key, select the photo, and I'm going to just tap the Q key to create a clip view. So now we've got our photo is clipped as a nice 800 by 800 pixel square. But unfortunately, this creates a clipped group. A clip view is kind of a group, and it doesn't work as a photo filter. So we've got to flatten this. And the way to do that is I'm just going to simply right click, create a bitmap copy, and double check this, and I want to make sure that we've got both the width and the height at 800 pixels. Click create. Now we've got our copy on the top. I'm just going to pull this aside. I'm going to click this one down below. We don't need that group anymore. Delete that. All right, this is going to give us our photo filter photo here to work with. So the next step now is going to be to create some special layers. We need to have photo group, and we need our layers all within the photo group. So I found the quickest and simplest and easiest way to do that is to grab the photo region tool. And this is where the snap to objects comes in really handy. And I'm just going to click at that corner and drag and snap to that corner. And this creates a mask shape on the mask layer. You can see we now have a mask layer over here, but it still hasn't created a photo group. To do that, I'm going to go into the photo tools and bring those up. And I'm just going to, for now, I'm going to hit 1 on my keyboard, and then I'm going to hit compare to remove that. Now if you look over here, we've got a clipped photo group. This is what we need to create a preset. I'm going to expand this and expand this again. You've got the whole group here is clipped with this shape down here. This is a clipping shape, and we've got our photo group, and inside that you've got a region enhance layer, and you've got your original photo. Now for the photo filter we're going to create today, I need 2 more region enhance layers. So This is already selected. I'm simply going to hit Control K once, twice. Now we've got 3 of these layers. We're going to start with this bottom one. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way through the stack of layers. The bottom one is going to be a special layer. It tells the program that this is a photo preset. Now I'm going to name this in 2 ways. The first name I'm going to do is I'm just going to name this layer, giving it a descriptive layer, so when I look at this photo expanded layer, I can see, okay, there's my descriptive layer. This is the one we don't want to mess with. So I'm going to start by calling it blank, because it's a blank layer. It's not going to adjust the photo in any way. And I'm just going to go colon, maybe we'll go add adjustments. Okay. And I'm going to click off that, making sure it's selected blue. And we're going to click this and make sure it doesn't jump up to select the whole group, because we want to apply the name to this layer, not the whole group. So we're going to apply our name, photo colon preset. We're going to click add, click close, and now this is our adjustment layer done. This is our special layer done. We're not going to be touching that anymore. The next one we're going to do is, this is where we're going to add our basic photo settings. We're going to give it a matte look in this layer. So we're going to go into the photo tools, and I'm going to start with the photo brightness. I'm going to give that a brightness of about 7. Then we're going to go into the contrast, and this is how we're going to give it kind of a matte look. We're going to actually lower the contrast. So I'm going to go minus about 15. And you can see that's already given it a nice, kind of a softer, less contrasty look, more of a matte finish. The next thing I am going to do is I'm going into the saturation here, and I'm just going to give it a wee bit more saturation. I'm going to set that at 4. And the final one is a bit of extra sharpness. And I'm going to set that at 9. And that is it for that layer. We still have a nice soft matte kind of look to it. We've preserved the detail though, and just brought up the colors just a wee bit. All right, so now over here on this layer, I am going to rename this one, and I'm just going to call this one Photo Settings. This way we have a descriptive name for that. For the next layer, we're going to set up our gradient for the colors that we're going to add to this. So to start with, we're going to give it a descriptive name. We are going to call this gradient. And what I'm going to do with this one, right now it's set at enhanced transparency. I'm going to change that, going into the transparency tool, and I'm going to go up here and we're just going to change it to a normal mix. And it's set at 0%, and basically we've just got a black square over our photo. So what I'm going to do is we're going to give this a nice gradient fill. So we're going to go into the fill tool. I'm going to select elliptical. I'm going to select the center node, and we're going to set that at just a pale orange, just off the timeline, or just off the color line. And I'm going to click this, and we're going to select a dark magenta. And I'm not going to adjust the gradient edge. I'm just going to leave it just as it is, and we're going to go back to our transparency tool, and at this point I'm now going to set the transparency to a soft light. And now at this setting you can see the colors in the center and around the edges. We've got the dark magenta. It's to me a little overdone, so I'm going to back off the transparency slider. Now I'm going to back it down to about 40%. And this is going to be where I am going to leave it at this. And this is going to become a default when the photo filter is applied to your photo. It'll be applied at 40%. So we're going to go back into that. And I'm going to go back into the fill tool. And I'm just going to adjust this elliptical transparency. I'm just going to make this a little bit wider and a little bit taller. Just so we've got a larger area with the orange and a little less area with the magenta. All right, I like that. We're going to leave that at that. That is our gradient layer. Now we're ready to save this filter. So we're going to just simply, I'm going to use File Save As because I've already saved this previously. You can just go Save. You can hit Control S, the usual manner, and it's going to bring up, basically, it's just going to bring up your basic Save As dialog. And I've got a special folder where I'm saving this to. You can save it wherever you like. And I'm just going to, you can see the name here before our naming convention here. I put a underscore first in front of it, and this helps. There seems to be an issue when you save your own photo preset. If you don't put the underscore in front of it first, they all come in named as photo preset. And if you've got a batch of them and they're similar effects but slightly different, that's not helpful. So I'm going to, I put the underscore and that solves that. It'll come in with a descriptive name. The next part is our descriptive name, Soft Gradient Matte. Then we put another underscore, and this is part of the magic. Another underscore and the name Xara Photo Preset. The .zar part will be auto-generated when you save the file. When you've got your name in, just hit save. I have to replace mine because I already had it in there, so we'll just quickly do that. Oh, it's not going to overwrite it. That's fine. We'll go with the other one. Alright, so now you've got it saved. Once your photo filter is saved, that's it. You're done. We're going to have a look now at applying this and testing it out. So I'm just going to pull this off, and I have another photo here of another kitty. This one not quite so cute and cuddly. I'll make it nice and big so everybody can see what's happening. I'm going to zoom in on this. And I'm just going to bring up an Explorer window. And you can see in the Explorer window, here is my filter. And I'm just going to drag this and drop it on the lion. And there we go. Let's close this. You can see how it's nicely applied all of our settings to our lion. Our lion has a nice soft matte look. But what if you want to edit this? Maybe the purple's a little bit too much, or maybe we want to have a little bit less of a matte look to this photo. Well, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to expand our clipped photo group down here. And here's our clipped photo group for our lion. And you can see it's added. It shows the name of the filter. It's added. And I'm just going to pull this out so you can see a little bit better what it's done here. And it shows all of our layers. So let's say we want to get rid of some of the purple. It's a little bit too heavy to the purple for you. So we're going to select our gradient. And then I'm going to go to the fill tool. I'm going to select the edge of the fill tool, and let's make this a slightly lighter purple. Okay, that's maybe made it a little bit too bright. We can leave it dark. Another option would possibly be to back off this whole layer. So let's go to the transparency tool and just back off the slider a bit. This is going to back off our colors just a wee bit more. So now we still have a slight gradient, but we've backed off the colors a little bit. You can do the same thing on the photo adjustments layer. Maybe you want a little bit less of a matte for this particular photo. So just back off the transparency slider and you can see you're getting a little bit less of a matte photo. Put it back where it is. And that's as simple as it is to edit your photos with the transparency slider and the fill tool sliders and things like that. Every filter that's in the designs gallery, all of the filters that you'll find on my shop on the Xara marketplace are all highly editable like this. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.